Hello everyone!
Hi.
Hi, we would like to welcome you to the next EXPAT Talks. We are here already for the 5th time since the new year. We do this every month. I always invite somebody interesting who has his own great or her own great story, being an expat or like living here for many years in the Czech Republic. So this time we have Tatiana here.
Hi guys.
Her full name is Tatiana Dumbrava. She is from Moldova. She's been living here for almost 11 years.
Yeah.
And she got to the Czech Republic because of a scholarship to study university here, right?
That's true.
Wow, perfect. So I welcome you here. Thank you for accepting my invitation.
Yeah, thanks for the invitation. It's really an honor to be here with you today, especially on Sunday, right?
Yeah, I hope and we hope, I guess, that you had a great weekend and you will, end it with us.
It's a nice end of weekend, I guess.
Let's see.
I hope so.
We hope you will have fun with us. Tatiana is a coach. She works with both children and adults, right?
Yeah.
And moreover, she has many Czech and Slovak friends, so I will know more about it. So I have questions like, because you came here because of studies to Brno.
Yeah.
And what made you decide to come to study in the Czech Republic?
You know what, actually I didn't want to come here, so I wanted to study somewhere abroad, and I knew that I would go abroad like since I was a kid. But the thing was that I needed a scholarship because my family couldn't support me financially, and I thought like when I was 18 I wouldn't be able to work and study at the same time in a new country, so that's why I needed a scholarship. And I got one to Romania, but actually I wanted to go initially to France. So this was like my dream country.
Wow.
Because
so do you speak French?
Yeah, wow. I do. I hope I still do speak French. I didn't practice this for quite a long time. But in France they would offer me like a scholarship in like after 2 or 3 years. So I couldn't take the risk to do that. And I got a scholarship here. It was actually funny because I didn't even thought about Czech Republic before, and I knew zero information about Czech Republic. Well, maybe I knew that you have good shoes. That's the whole thing.
Oh really? Did you know this?
Yeah, I don't know why and how that happened, but I knew somehow that you have good shoes, bacha.
Yeah.
So
wow.
Probably they told us at some point in school, I don't know why, and it's really funny.
Well, it's funny because usually foreigners, they have shoe stores, Bata,
Yeah.
And most of them, they don't know that it's Czech, if I talk to them.
Yeah, but I really don't remember how this piece of information ended up in my brain. But then my teacher, one of my teachers at high school, he told me, there's this opportunity to the Czech Republic, would you like to apply? And I said, yeah, why not? And I applied and I completely forgot about it. And half a year afterwards, when I was very stressed with my last exams, they called me from the embassy that I got this scholarship, and I actually didn't know if I have to be happy or not, because they sent me from the embassy like papers, like some kind of official papers like to sign and whatever. And when I saw the language, I almost fainted because I like languages, I like foreign languages, but when I saw Czech, it was like Chinese for me, and I thought, I was thinking like the whole summer, should I go there? Would I be able to learn this language in 9 months? So I can be able to pass the entrance exam at university. So it was a really big decision for me. Wow. And I think I met at that time an American volunteer who was living in our city, and my English was quite poor at the time, but he actually encouraged me to come here. He said, yeah, it will be very difficult, it will be a challenge, but you like the challenges, so go for it.
Nice, that's what Americans do. They know how to, push you.
But you know what, actually I completely forgot about that, and now when I'm talking to you, I realize that he was quite important for me. I don't even remember, I think he was called Eric or something like that. Wow, I completely forgot about that.
Nice. So you see an American in your story in Moldova who encouraged you to go to the Czech Republic. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So did you come here and did you have to learn Czech in 9 months so that you could study in Czech?
Yeah.
You didn't study in English?
No. So in order to get the scholarship, actually, the only condition was that I would learn Czech in such a way so I can be able to pass the entrance exams, and if I pass them, then I get the scholarship for the whole rest of the studies. So that's sweet. That's our voices, right? That's okay. What I was saying.
In order to pass.
So it was tough. I had Czech language for like from 8 or from 9 until 3 in the afternoon. I had headaches every single day for 9 months.
Wow.
I'm not exaggerating. It was really difficult, and I did it in Podjebrady. They have really good center for languages, foreigners. Probably know it, and I really hated people like Russian-speaking people because we are best friends now. But at that time, I wanted to kill everybody because they all spoke Russian at the time, and I wanted to practice Czech, and nobody wanted to speak Czech to me. So I actually learned Russian in the Czech Republic thanks to them. And everybody has this kind of bias, that. Don't take it personally.
We have a colleague here who is Ukrainian, so she's laughing.
Because everybody thinks that people from Moldova speak Russian, which might be true in some cases, but it's not my case. I didn't learn Russian so well in Moldova. I didn't have a reason why to. But I'm happy actually that I learned because of my friends in Podjebrady. Maybe they somehow didn't support me in my Czech, but anyway, it's cool to know a new language. Yeah, my Russian is kind of like half Czech, half Russian, but I think I can make a meaningful conversation with someone.
Wow, that's cool. I had similar situation in France. I was Erasmus there to learn French, and I learned Spanish because the Spanish people they didn't speak French yet. So
yeah,
I also was very thankful because two at the same time.
Yeah.
Wow,
it takes time, right? It's fun.
Yeah, and when you go back to when you arrived for the first time, so you didn't even come here to visit before coming.
No.
You made the decision. Wow. Okay, so did you experience some culture shock?
I don't think I don't like so much this term of cultural shock, but I guess I was a little bit surprised when I was at university, like for the first time, when I already started to study. I couldn't get used, and I'm here for so long time, and I still cannot get used to people when they are sneezing very loudly in public or whatever, right? That's true. I have this feeling
and
that
cleaning their nose.
Exactly, cleaning their nose, and I have a feeling that people are competing who is louder, or maybe it's super healthy, or I don't know what's the point, and because in Moldova you have to be very careful of all the body noises you make, so
really?
You have to go out or hide somewhere under the table or something. And when I saw even the teacher in front of 100 students in a huge
or something.
And he was doing that in front of us, I was really. And I'm still struggling with that. But I think I'm getting better at it. I think I start to also make
these
noises and I'm not so loud yet.
Are you becoming Czech?
I am becoming Czech.
Wow, that's interesting. I haven't heard about it, and I have never thought about it that this is happening. Wow.
Yeah, I've heard in Japan they have the same thing. They are very. They have to be very careful of any noises they make, so I feel very like we're on the same boat with them.
Okay. The Moldavians.
Yeah, maybe it's because conservative society, you should keep your noises out or at home or.
Okay, nice. All right, tell me something about Moldova, because for me it's a country I've never been to. So tell me, how's the country? Tell everyone.
We don't sneeze loudly. You know that already. But I would recommend you actually to go and visit Moldova because I am a bit ashamed, but I don't know Moldova so well. Because imagine, I was 18 when I left the country, and I didn't travel so much. I was studying, and I come from a small city, so I have friends who know Moldova better than I do, which is really.
So tell us just basics. Tell us like.
Yeah. Well, it's a small country with hard-working people. Unfortunately, half of population immigrated. It's very sad, but I will not be talking about sad things. So we have very good wine, red wine. I recommend. I know that even in the Czech Republic we have some. You you can find very good Moldovan wine here. We don't have mountains or we don't have sea, but we have very kind of calm. It's similar to Moravia. It's like this kind of peaceful pictures and nature and hills and forests and very old forest actually. We have a good soil. Our vegetables. I really miss. If there is one thing I really miss about Moldova, is vegetables and fruit.
Oh, okay.
That you have no idea how real fruit or vegetable taste like.
That's what I hear usually from my Greek friends.
Yeah. So we are the same, I think. Yeah. So that's something that I really love about Moldova. Not only that, but anything like food in general is really tasty. And what you have here, like bio and organic, we have there normally in supermarket and. It's really cool. We have what else we have there?
How are the people?
How are the people?
I mean, if you can maybe say some stereotypes.
I'm afraid. I like to talk about stereotypes sometimes when I'm with my friends, but I'm very careful when I'm like generalizing.
Live.
So sorry.
Yeah, when you're live.
Especially. Yeah. So if some of my friends will see me, they will kill me. But I would say. Yeah, we are hardworking. We are perfectionists, I guess. Like we want to do things 120% if we do something. We are very ambitious. That's something that I might generalize again, but that's something that I don't feel it so much here. People there are really they have a goal and they really go for it. They might crash, they might fail, but they have an ambition. They have something to strive for in life. And maybe it's too much. Maybe it's like too extreme, you know. And because it's not good to be like having no goal in life or having such a goal that you actually get burnout or you lose friends or family or your health or whatever. So is that okay for you?
Yeah,
you have already
I have a picture and let's visualize it as well. Are you like kind of typical that you have dark eyes, dark hair?
Yeah. Look at me, I am typical Moldovan person.
Nice. So we all have picture now because I don't know anybody else from Moldova actually.
Yeah, we look like that.
Like her. Alright, thank you for explaining me your...
Would you go there actually for visiting?
And especially my husband because every September he's going for some trips. He went to Georgia, Romania, and they are going like a bunch of guys. So I was thinking to tell him as a tip.
Yeah, it's like a small country, so you can spend 2 days there. You can have some nice wine. We have also, if they are interested like in churches or like in architecture, they can find like UNESCO churches which are really very old. But I know nothing about these guys. I'm really sorry, but I know that they are there, and there are lots of people, tourists from all over the world coming to see, but I have to say I don't know it so well. So.
Yeah, you will be as a tourist when you go there.
Maybe your husband can tell me more about it.
After when he comes back, definitely. Yeah. Great. So when you finished school, what was your career until now?
Yeah, so I studied psychology here in Brno, and while I was studying, I went actually to Belgium in 2012, and I was volunteering there in a asylum seeker center, which means basically people applying for asylum for like refugee status in Belgium. And I found out I'm a foreigner. I didn't think about myself as a foreigner in the Czech Republic, so wow, after a couple of years being here. And I found out I really like to help foreigners because I understand them, I'm in their shoes, so when I came back I started to volunteer in different organizations working with foreigners, with kids. I used to go to do leisure activities, organize like kind of activities and fun things for kids here, like 1 hour from Brno. It's a center for asylum seekers as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was like refugee people?
Yeah, yeah. Like asylum seekers, it's like they don't still have refugee status, but they're applying for it and waiting until they get it. So that's how I started to get into migration and integration topics, and then I got a job at nationalities. I really encourage you to Google it and to like it on Facebook. I worked there for 4 years.
It's an NGO, right?
It's an NGO, and I was coordinating a program for integration and migration of foreigners. So we did there lots of community building events. We tried to basically create a space where foreigners can meet locals, because you know the biggest challenge in the Czech Republic for foreigners is not to find a job or to make a living, but actually to feel accepted and to have friends here, and not friends among foreigners, but among locals.
Yeah.
So for us, we were headhunting locals to come to our events. It was like crazy. So we tried to do that in a natural way, of course, like to put people together and make them comfortable to get to know each other. We did there also. We came up with the idea that it's nice to help also activists to get to know other bubbles. So we came up with the idea to make a hackathon, to organize a hackathon, and to put together like IT people with marketers and with activists and foreigners, and create together some apps or anything useful for integration of foreigners here in Brno. It was a great experience. I actually. Even though I don't work there anymore, I still feel very close to that organization, and we did great stuff together. It was a big school for me, like how to work with people in general, with foreigners, how to coordinate a team of volunteers or people working with me, and so on. But then I thought like. I was applying quite a lot of psychology in my job, but I missed it somehow. So you were asking what I did like after my studies. So afterwards, I started to feel like I'm missing psychology. So I got back to it, and I got back to it, and I got back in a way that I started to do a coaching training. So that's how I go to coaching, and I'm also. But I kept being in contact with foreigners. So I'm also coaching foreigners. So I'm happy that I combined the two of them: my passion for psychology and passion for working with foreigners. Yeah.
Wow, awesome. So how is your weekly routine now? Do you work for a company as a coach, or are you like a freelancer?
Yeah. Well, I do kind of both. So now I'm working for Madio, which is an organization in Zlín, based in Zlín, but they're working like everywhere in the Czech Republic. And we do great stuff that we are coaching and providing supervision and trainings and coaching for schools and for companies as well. So it's really cool because I'm training teachers, for example. I'm doing supervision there. I'm coaching. So I feel like if you ask somebody like, what is the coach for, or if I would ask you like what's coming to your mind when I say coaching, it's like you associate it immediately to business or to something related to corporate or whatever. But I like when coaching is also applied and being useful for schools or for education in general, or for other industries, if you get what I mean. So I feel like there's a huge lack of support for teachers in the Czech Republic, so I'm really happy I can do that and I can support them. And then I'm also like facilitating meetings for NGOs or for schools or for any kind of organizations. I'm coaching also like one-on-one foreigners. So I'm doing actually a lot of things now, and I'm talking about that.
Yeah, we met yesterday on the Women in Tech conference, and she was like, well, actually, I don't have weekends. Somehow I have to reschedule everything. Yeah, lately it's changed again. So I know what you mean.
Yeah, I'm not so happy about that. So you asked me actually about weekly routines, right?
Yeah.
So I'm traveling a lot. My dream was to travel a lot, and now it came true. And I realized I want another dream. I want to travel less. Well, it's nice that I'm traveling, but at the same time, it's good also to be settled. So I'm trying to find the balance now, like traveling, because I have this kind of trainings everywhere.
It's in the Czech Republic?
Yeah, it's like a lot is lean, but also I collaborate with different other organizations. So I do like trainings in Jihlava, in Liberec, in Prague, in Bratislava, and I'm traveling really a lot. So I'm traveling, and then when I'm not traveling, I'm at home creating online trainings or creating the new training that I will be like lecturing like in a couple of days or months. So that's kind of my job. And in the evenings I try to not be at home working. So my new passion is dancing blues.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I know people don't know that you can dance on blues. You can, and it's really cool. I really recommend you to do that.
Is it slow?
It's slow. It could be fast as well. Like I will not show you.
No?
I'm too shy for that. Maybe after one glass of wine or something.
Oh, we have just water here.
That's a pity. So. Yeah, I'm doing that, and then meditation and yoga and like hiking in nature. But I would like to have more free time. That's true.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but there's so many things to do, so it's hard to have free time.
That's true.
I understand. All right, if you could bring anything from Moldova with you, except you already said fruits and vegetables.
Why except that? Because I wanted to.
Is there something else?
That's a hard question, actually. I was thinking I would like to bring my mom, but then I thought no, not a good idea. Maybe I will bring her for 1 or 2 weeks, and not that I don't love her, but it's. I don't know if you have this feeling that I created something of myself, something for myself, like a little refuge or something like that, and I don't want like my family to interfere with that. So this is my place, guys. So nobody coming here.
I get it.
But if I would bring something else, probably more. I don't know. I have a feeling that something connect. I'm not sure if I can explain it, but sometimes I have a feeling that the life in the Czech Republic is so easygoing. It's easy to be happy here. But you get so used to that you start forgetting about real serious questions, like meaningful questions, like what you want to do in your life and so on. If you get me.
Yeah.
And
like then you come to EXPAT Talks, I make you think about it.
Sorry?
And then you come to the EXPAT Talks and I make you think about it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're really good at that. Yeah, so like I would bring more this kind of like philosophical questions about like life in general. This kind of like it's a bit dangerous, because if you get to that and if you get deep and dive into it too long, you might get a depression or something. So it's good to think about that once in a while, but enjoy life in general. So maybe I would like to bring this kind of seriousness and thinking more about how I would look back at my life, like from the future. Because now I'm quite happy and busy and I don't have time for that. So
okay. So we get to the next question, which you are actually covered maybe a little bit as well. But is there something else how you can describe Czechs, or what do you think about us? And you can be sincere. There are mostly foreigners watching.
Yeah,
they might agree with you.
Are you sure? You know what I like about you guys? I like that you are very relaxed about life, and you have it all. You don't complicate things, and you have a job, and you are maybe happy, maybe not so happy with it, but you go along, and you really value friendships, and you really value family time, and your free time is really sacred.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that I have still to learn. Like, free time is really free time. You just switch off everything, and you just go somewhere cycling or whatever. I like that you are moving a lot, like you are really doing lots of sports, and you explore forests and everything around. Like in Moldova, I have to tell you a funny story. In Moldova, last summer, I went to a hike alone, and my mom was like writing me and calling me every 5 minutes if I'm okay, because it's not normal, like a girl, to go in the forest alone, you know. Okay. It's like, are you crazy? Why would you go to a forest, you know, in the first place?
Yeah, and then alone.
But alone, yeah. Are you looking for some trouble or something? And here, I really love that you are curious about, and you are taking care of nature. This is something I really love about Czech Republic and Czech people. You are very aware of your environment, and you try. Maybe you are not, so I cannot argue with environmental activists, maybe, but I would say, like, if I compare to Moldova, to people, to our awareness about environment, you are quite aware, and you try to at least do small steps. And what else
What is the one bad thing?
You're interested more in bad things,
no,
right?
tell me just one. You just said many good ones, so just tell me just one.
Bad thing?
Mm-hmm. Because you're a very positive person, so...
Not always. I'm positive, actually. Bad thing is, but again, you force me to generalize, so it's on your account. Yeah.
Okay,
it's
on my account.
One bad thing, I think that you are complaining a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And whining and not doing anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have this energy of, like, you know, you are not so happy about it and blah blah, but instead of like just complaining and talking about it, you can use this energy in a more creative and more effective way. You can just go and do something about that, right?
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't think
it's fine. You don't have to continue.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
I think you are like an exception, and you don't fit into that.
Yeah, I guess so. But I understand what you mean. We are, especially now with all these revolt, or how to say, against the government, there are more and more people who try to do something about it.
Yeah, this is really that's really beautiful. I'm following it right now, not so much, but I see that it's more we're getting more and more active, and moreover, I see many young people maybe inspired by people like from different countries, but I see like young people getting really angry and really like going in the street, which is it's fantastic. I mean, they are very sad, I guess, and very frustrated, but it's a good sign that the young people are not, I don't know, watching YouTube or whatever, but they're actually going there and doing it. Yeah.
And you're mentioning very often, when we talked yesterday, that you're an activist. What does that mean, actually?
Many things. Well, I think I was very influenced by my work in nationalities, and I'm glad for that, and I have very high standards of like ethical and moral expectations from other people. So I guess being an activist for me is being aware of social equality or inequality. So where is the power, and how can I work with that? How can I help people with less voice and less power to get more? Because even in coaching, I feel I meet people who are not so happy here for some reasons, some of them. And it's all about feeling invisible, or feeling that they are not enough in the eyes of local people because of their color or whatever, right? So they look different, so they are different, and they are not respected as if they would be like white Europeans, males, and so on. So it's still a huge topic in my life, and I'm happy for that. I'm aware, and I'm trying to do my best as a coach or as a trainer or as a facilitator to look at that and not overlook it and help people with this also.
Oh, nice. So now I know what you mean when you say, well, I'm quite an activist.
Yeah,
Thank you for explaining.
Yeah.
All right. What are the funny situations that happened to you in the Czech Republic? Is there any?
Yeah, I told you yesterday, guys. I have to tell you that we talked a little bit about the questions before, but I don't know all of them, right? But it's a hard question for me. I told you that I'm such a serious person.
No, you're not.
No, but I have no funny. I was really thinking hard the whole week, and I have no funny situations to tell. Maybe one, not so funny, but it was funny in the sense that I was supposed to be in a school, like, and 15 adults, teachers and parents were waiting for me. It was quite a serious meeting, and the trolley bus 25 or 26 got stuck somewhere, and quite badly, and I had to hitchhike in Brno.
Really?
I never hitchhiked like outside Czech Republic. It was my first time. I recommend it. Hitchhiking in Brno is really cool. And one person actually stopped and helped me, and I was really surprised. I was so desperate. I was thinking like, what I will lose if I would just hitchhike in Brno, right? It's like I'm still late. I'm already late. It's already a disaster. So I'll just hitchhike.
Shouldn't get any worse.
Exactly. So and I think this situation is telling a lot about myself. I have many funny little stories like that. It's that when I'm in a situation, I'm always trying to see the possibilities, the alternatives, and I'm not afraid of being creative when I'm desperate. And I'm actually encouraging people when I'm coaching. I'm encouraging people also to step out of their comfort zone and doing crazy things, or being more courageous to go out of their boxes or bubbles and experiment. And nobody will kill you if you'll hitchhike in Brno. Come on, you can go tomorrow. You can have like actually a kind of, one thing to try on your bucket
list. Like a game, yeah?
Yeah, so exactly. So you can try actually next week or next month if you want. You have 1 month for that. So try to hitchhike at least once, and try to put your hand like that at least for 1 minute, 60 seconds. That's not so long, right?
And somebody will stop, you promise?
No, the thing is actually, even though nobody would stop, you will not die because of that, and nothing will happen actually, so you can try.
Yeah, I can say that it's not easy. I've hitchhiked, but yeah, for me, even when I put it there already, then it's fine, but like, I feel uncomfortable, but then in a while, because there were some situations like funny stories for me as well.
Would you like to share?
No, it's fine. It's about you here. So if you moved out of Brno, what would you miss?
I was living a short time in Porto, in Portugal, and in Luxembourg, and I missed actually Brno, and I was happy to come back here because I missed the relaxed atmosphere here. I cannot explain how. I know people in Portugal are super relaxed, but somehow people here are really they don't have big issues, or they don't stress over things, and they take everything with a little bit of like irony, or it will pass, it will be okay, no big deal. Also, if I compare to Luxembourg, I would miss here the cultural life, which is getting better and better and better every single day. And when I moved here 10 years ago, I thought like, I will get so bored here. But actually now I don't know how to decide to which event to go, and I want to be everywhere and I'm nowhere, and it's cool. It's like you can find your own little bubble, and there are so many things, so many lifestyles, so many things you can do here.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
And also I would miss the thing that Brno is quite small, so every time, and I know quite a lot of people, so every time I go out I meet somebody I know, or it's like being in a village, in a big village.
Yeah, some people call Brno a village.
Yeah.
A little bit
A cool one.
Before Vienna.
Outskirts of Vienna.
Yeah, it's kind
or of Prague.
Exactly. Well, of Prague not, because it's not easy to get here through the
That's
highway,
true.
but
That's true.
yeah. Okay, so you mentioned many people, that you meet many people when you go out. Do you have more Czechs or international friends?
I have Slovaks.
Okay, let's say the Czechs and Slovaks or international friends.
Come on, Slovaks are international. Also.
Yeah, kind of. For us.
No, it's a joke. I don't know actually. I guess it's 50-50. Even though now I tend to meet more foreigners than before, because I'm going out more to this kind of foreigner meetups. But it depends in which field, I guess. Like work-wise, I would say I meet half maybe foreigners, half locals. And then in my private life, it's more Czechoslovakian bubble, foreigners as well. But my good friends are not in Brno, unfortunately. So they are like in Munich or in Prague or in Vienna or somewhere else. But we all met here.
But
like
are they
in Brno.
Czechoslovak?
They're foreigners.
They're foreigners.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my good foreigner friends are not in Brno. I quite miss them.
Yeah, I can imagine. With the social media, it's maybe easier to keep in touch, no?
Yeah, I know.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay, do you feel that you've already like fully integrated as a foreigner here after 10 years? Almost 11?
Andrejka, we can talk about this 1 week.
Yes!
No, because I did also my master thesis on that, and integration. When I say integration, I get a little bit like, like it's a big topic for me. But we will not get into philosophy, and we will not get into discourse analysis here.
Tell me the practice.
I will tell you the practice. Well, at the beginning, I wanted to be like a Czech person, right? Like everybody, I guess. Like everybody who is young, I guess. I don't know. I wanted to have a perfect Czech. I wanted to be like my uni mates, and after a while, I gave it up. And I was struggling with that. Like I was trying to find where is my position in between, like being like a Czech, being Moldavian, and where I am in this scale. And now I am very proud of being myself and being Moldavian and being different. And I feel home. It's more important for me to feel home somewhere than being integrated. Whatever
Integrated
it means. Yeah, I don't want to get into deep discussions.
So you
with
feel
that.
home here, and you don't feel
I do.
Integrated for me in this sense means that you feel like comfortable in where you're living, because you speak Czech, which is very good. We can hear little accent. So, usually people miss this as the language, and people usually can understand immediately that you're a foreigner, but sometimes people just don't care, you feel...
Yeah, if I would be... I have friends who don't speak Czech, and they feel quite comfortable and at home here as well. So I think it's all about relationships, and actually my job at nationality also, or my own practice, I got to this conclusion, which might change, I don't know, that people feel home when they have good relationships. It doesn't mean if you have it in Czech language or in English or in Chinese. It has no importance. I know people trying so hard to integrate, in the sense that they learn Czech and still they feel excluded from society. So I don't think it's about the language. It might be a factor, but I'm not saying it's the only thing. If you learn that, you feel home. No. You might actually feel even more handicapped because people feel your accent, and they say, "Oh, you speak well, but you have a little bit of accent," which is like excluding you from the feeling of being at home. Yeah. So it's about having good, positive relationships with people. That's for me like being integrated.
Yeah, great, we got there.
It
Perfect.
was a long way, right?
Yeah, but you know, we'll always get there. Is there any Czech food you love or hate?
Czech food.
Uh-huh.
I tried to think what I had last time Czech food.
It's also saying something.
Because I cook at home quite a lot, so
No, it's Czech food, yeah.
well, I cook. I don't know what I'm cooking actually. I'm cooking like stuff, but I can't call it even Moldovan or Czech. I cook it like to be healthy, you know. So.
Okay. So it's not Czech food. Not much.
Yeah, but if I like some Czech food.
Or hate. I mean, it can be both ways.
I have this kind of neutral like answer to that because I don't really love it so much. I don't even hate it so much. It's just not my type of what I would eat.
Well, that's a fine answer, I guess. Yeah. Guys, if you have some questions, you can post it under the video, and I will ask Tatiana. So anytime, just write it down.
But decent ones.
Yeah. But she's very open-minded, so she might answer. And tell me, what are your future plans? You love it here? Do you want to stay here, or do you plan to move somewhere else or back to Moldova?
Yeah. So if I resume my answer is that I'm happy here. So I'm staying here for I don't know how many more years. In the future, which might be like I don't know 10 years or I don't know what kind of future, I would see myself somewhere with more sun. And somewhere with more sun, and maybe in a more multicultural society, or maybe Brno we will have more sun here due to climate change and to the thing that there will be more and more foreigners here, so maybe I will stay at the end in Brno, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe with your such thoughts we will change Brno into new Barcelona almost.
Yeah, Barcelona would be cool, yeah.
Yeah. It was a good tip from me. Alright. You've lived here for almost 11 years now. Mm-hmm. Do you see any changes in the Czech attitude or in the services? Because you've already mentioned something, but maybe you can summarize it and tell more.
Yeah, I think we started to be more I don't know always how to talk about that, to be more careful in customer care, I would say, and more aware that not everybody is speaking Czech, and that people are really trying very hard to get comfortable in Brno. So I think this is the main thing. Also, I was and I'm still a little bit collaborating with municipality. They have now, which is a quite new thing, they have a strategy for integration of foreigners for the next 5 years, and I'm just a little bit engaged in that as well. And I am very happy that Brno has officially intercultural workers with different languages, helping foreigners to go to institutions and to be more confident in themselves and to have some support while dealing with different stuff. Also, I think institutions got more and more used to have people speaking differently than Czech, and they get more and more tolerating with that thing. And I also see more and more foreigners being more appreciative about Czech culture and Czech environment,
really?
than just complaining about Czech people, politics, and so on. Yeah, I think especially Brno, we have quite a good life quality here. I don't know the stats and I have no numbers now, but I know that foreigners are quite happy here, and actually we are somewhere on the top of the according to the quality of life. So I'm speaking globally, not only in Europe. So I think overall it's getting better and better.
Okay, I'm great that you see some change.
Yeah,
Change over 10 years.
Yeah.
We have a Facebook question. Yeah, Armando is asking, and he's saying hello.
Hi, Armando.
What about the Czech literature? Do you like it, read it, know it?
Look, I'm reading Kundra right now, and I'm rereading him, and I think he's really great. I read him even, like, I don't know, a couple of, when I started to speak Czech, but now I have the feeling that I have more, I can analyze his writing even in more depth, so I'm really fascinated by him, even though his stories are quite disturbing. So what was the question? If I like it, if I read it, yeah. Actually, when I got accepted for this Czech scholarship thing, I started to read quite. So I was reading quite a lot Kundera and Hrabal while I was in Moldova. But since to be honest, I do not read as much as I would like, and if I read coaching stuff right now, so I have to disappoint you that I don't read Czech literature so much as I would like to. Maybe that's a good point. In summer maybe I can get some Czech books, and Armando, if you know any good books you can recommend me in Czech, I'll be very thankful to you.
Yeah, just do it. Okay. When do you get back to your childhood? Who did you want to become? What was your dream?
You know, it's funny because I wanted to be a teacher. I realize it now. I wanted to be many things. So I had this kind of phases. So when I remember being little and writing stuff on a wall somewhere, and as being a teacher, and I imagined I have a whole class of people watching me and listening to me, and I had power, and it was cool. So now actually when I'm coaching or training, I have the same feeling. I realized it just now, like recently, that I actually wanted to be a teacher, which I am not so much now, but I'm very close to being a teacher. And then when I was reading old Soviet books about Cold War, I wanted to be a spy, a lady spy.
Really?
Yeah, because and I wanted to have a gun, and I wanted to fool men, and I wanted to get information from somebody, because the books were about that, right? So spy women and Cold War and stuff like that. So and then I wanted to be a pilot, and I think these both dreams will not become real, yeah. Or who knows?
Who knows? You have a long life ahead, so who knows?
Yeah.
Okay. And we've met when we've met yesterday in the Women in Tech conference.
Yeah.
And also before, you told me that you were kind of interested in the IT field, or maybe you were thinking that it's interesting for you. So what is the interest about?
Well, the interest is a very practical one, because look, IT world is super. It's first of all, it's easy to get a job, and you can be very creative. It depends on the job, but it's very flexible. Also, you can work from Sri Lanka if you want, or you can work you can go to an office if you want. You can work on boring stuff. You can work on very interesting stuff. You can also help society in different ways. So it has really a lot of potential, freedom, security. I'm talking now about financial security, and also it's actually, it's not my idea, but it's one of my friends. He told me that IT is one of the fields and industries where everybody's equal, and I really like this idea. You know, like nobody is asking you where do you come from or what kind of accent you have. You have to be good at what you are doing. So there is no point, nobody cares about who you are. I mean, they care about what you can contribute, what you can bring to the project. So this is very beautiful, I think. And I had an attempt to coding, but it was a big fail. But I hope in the future sometime to get closer to that. My only touch with IT industry was when we organized the hackathon. I mentioned before, the first activist hackathon actually in the Czech Republic. We did that with Kiwi together. So I was the whole night with a bunch of guys, and we were designing a new application, and I really loved it. I was completely very, very tired, like at 5 in the morning I went to sleep. But it was really, I felt like it was you told me also, like it's completely different, a new mentality.
Yeah, way of thinking.
A way of thinking, of seeing things, of talking about things, of what you can do, what you can create together. So it's exciting for me. I hope I can get into that closer sometime in future.
Yeah, I agree. And when we are talking about the future, where do you see your work, the work of a coach in future?
Yeah, look, my future now is that, or my plan now is to get to work more and more with foreigners. I'm working on that now, but I think due to my coaching and training stuff, I don't have due to my training stuff actually, and supervising and supervision and facilitation, I don't have so much time for one-on-one coaching. But now I would like to change it, and I would like to be more useful for the community. So I would like to do it online maybe, or else offline, one-on-one, and helping foreigners as I used to do before, even more than I do now, because I miss it. I do it from time to time, but it's quite little, and I would like to do it more now. So this is my very short-term future plan.
And when you look at it from the point of view, what the coaching can do, when you look at the future of an IT, how do you see, do you see some future for coaching?
In IT, you mean?
I mean, in general, because the world is turning to online, and coaching can be online as well, but you know, do you see, or for example, I see some future in coaching because it keeps you somehow connected to you and to somebody else who can help you to maybe get to yourself. Because more people are feeling that everything is online, so the distances are kind of far, even though you're kind of close.
Yeah.
So do you see that coaching can maybe change it, or
connecting more people with themselves and with each other?
Yeah.
Definitely. I see more questions in your questions. I'm now thinking which one to answer. If you ask me about what's the role of coaching in online world, or the online world, how it affects coaching, I would say that being more online nowadays, it could be definitely a plus. And I'm thinking about people who are shy to go actually offline to meet someone, because come on, you are Czech, right? You asked me about Czech people, so now I'm telling you that Czech people are very shy to go to just a unknown person and just to open their heart to them, right? But also I'm thinking, but if I'm not necessarily Czech people, I'm talking about anybody. But also imagine that you are living in a village or in a small city or somewhere that it doesn't matter, actually outside Brno, and you get my contact and you really want to work with me. So how would you make it, right? It's time consuming to go to see someone. So it could be actually a solution to meet online. Or even living in Brno, come on, you have a family, you have kids, you are full-time, and you need 30 minutes to talk to me about something very urgent, some crisis or something. So you would not spend 1 hour and a half to get to meet me offline, but we will just Skype together for half an hour or 45 minutes or whatever. So I see that in this kind of very speedy lifestyle we tend to have nowadays, it's kind of plus to be online. But in the same time, it definitely can be a minus, in the sense that, exactly what you said, that people are so much online nowadays that we actually start to forget how to be present, with someone, and breathing and being aware and being now and here with your body, seeing, looking into the eyes of someone else, and understanding this person and seeing the face and so on. We can still see online, but it's not the same as offline. Yeah. They're definitely, and also our bodies are communicating. I'm sending you kind of signal that you cannot see online, and our energies, or not energy, but kind of hormones are talking to each other, right? It's physiology, and we don't have this kind of connection, intimate connection online. So it definitely loses a little bit of this deep physical connection. But it could be advantage, it could be disadvantage. I think that combining both is the perfect way how to make it work now.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah?
Cannot agree more. Yeah. Nicely said. I have a last question for you. Like, is there something you would recommend to the newcomers to the Czech Republic?
To the Czech Republic?
Yeah, I mean the foreigners who are coming to the Czech Republic.
Not to Brno, to the Czech Republic, okay.
Yeah.
I would recommend you to... I guess to be curious, to be really curious about everything happening here.
Mm-hmm.
To build positive relations with people around, doesn't matter if they're foreigners or Czech people.
Mm-hmm.
And to try to feel at home as much as possible. And I don't have one big advice. I don't have because every person is different, every environment and context is
Mm-hmm.
different, so I don't have one advice for everybody. But in my experience, people feel good here when they really have good relations with other people. So try to make that work. And for beginning, it's okay if you have just one friend or two friends. You can have even online friends if you are you just came and you don't have really time or whatever. That's the only thing, I guess. Try to also try to get inspired and to get contagiated, or how to call, from people who are positive, and try to keep away from criticism and kind of complaining about everything, because you can get so integrated and so influenced by people complaining a lot that you will end up complaining about stuff you don't actually even understand or don't even experience yourself in your own life. So try to find positive stuff here, what you like, what you can change if you don't like it, and just give it a chance, I guess, because you cannot have an opinion on the Czech Republic after a couple of weeks. You need more time maybe. Yeah. But be curious, because there are so many things going on here and happening and changing. It's a lot of material to explore and experience.
That's true. All right, Tatiana, thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Yeah,
it was funny.
It was fun, and I enjoyed your deep thoughts really much.
I enjoyed your questions, thank you.
You're welcome. And yeah, we are happy that you were here with us on Sunday evening. You can see this video also on YouTube, Spotify, and we are putting it on Facebook so that you can see the whole one if you came later. And we will also put it together because of the technical problem, so that will be available on Spotify and YouTube. So I hope you'll have a great rest of Sunday, and I'll see you next month. Bye.
Bye bye.